How can I stop my boyfriend from wanting to top? Throw away account because my guy loves this Reddit stuff. My boyfriend, 38 male, and I, 35 male, have been together for the past 7 years. We have a great and healthy relationship overall, but there is one topic that may tear us apart, for some of us, literally. My boyfriend is a 6 feet 2 inches athlete that enjoys a lot of MASC things and is rather well endowed. Not fetishizing masculinity, he simply is that, and I'm a 5 feet 7 inches short soft man who spends a lot of his days inside being average, and my package reflects that. We have had a very satisfying bedroom experience up until last month when he started focusing on being an alpha. Because of his new view on life, he wanted us to take on more traditionally masculine SND feminine roles and wanted me to submit to him in that most intimate of ways. After years of doing it to him, I thought it would be fair to let him do the same to me. During the activity he ignored me using our safe word, saying it felt too good to stop as he had never done it before, and ejaculated into me without asking. This led to a situation where I was getting stitches in a very fragile place and couldn't move around easily at all. This all happened a couple weeks ago, and as the date the doctor okayed us to resume sexual activity is nearing, I don't know how to tell him he can never do that again. Please let me know what I can say to make him understand that he is doing more harm than goog? Since he literally tore your asshole, if he still tries to do that, he's not worth dating. Seriously, this guy is not a safe partner. He has stopped caring about your safety entirely, and ignoring your safe word made it assault. Do not ignore how dangerous this has become. You used your safe word and he refused to stop? That's textbook rape. He sounds like a tool. This sounds like rape. You said stop. He didn't. You were physically hurt enough to need stitches. 7 years of a healthy relationship doesn't negate the fact that he didn't stop when you used your safe word. His pleasure was more important than your safety and comfort. Think about that when you doubt yourself. He may have been a good partner before this, but who he is today felt it was perfectly okay to rape you. Instead of asking how you can make him understand how much he hurt you, which shouldn't be hard at all considering you needed stitches to repair the damage he caused, you should ask yourself if you want to be with someone who doesn't care if he hurts you as long as he gets what he wants. Honestly, this is assault. And I'm sorry, but I don't think you should wait for the next time he decides to ignore your boundaries and well-being for his own pleasure. Also, this whole alpha concept sounds like a location flag to me. Especially since it's derived from a study about wolf packs' behavior that has since been debunked by the same researcher that wrote it. But today, many used that words to justify some very unhealthy traits. It's fine to be an alpha or a beta in bed, but you said stop, used the safe word, and he kept going till you needed stitches? 7-year relationship be gone. If he genuinely loved you, he never would have put you in a situation like that. Send him on his way. You deserve significant or much better. Tell him he never gets to top again because you let him try it and he raped you. If he has any problems with that whatsoever, dump him and his alpha bullshit. Nope. Nope the fuck out of that relationship. He raped you. He didn't stop when you used your safe word. To the point that you needed stitches. There is no having a convo to smooth this over. This is leave. Before he does something that causes internal bleeding or worse. I, M30, found a card I made. Drew for my girlfriend, F32, in the trash. About a month ago, my girlfriend of 1 year was nervous for her first day at a new job, so I made a card for her to support, encourage her. I found it in the trash this morning when throwing something away. I remember putting a lot of effort into it. I drew a thoughtful drawing on the front that took a while, and the back was a few handwritten, thoughtfully written paragraphs. I think the effort, thoughtfulness was evident. When I found it, I picked it up and asked her, "You don't want the card I made?" And she replied, "Ah no. I do keep all the cards you make and give me." I did look at it before I tossed it and smiled. I was just trying to clean up and get rid of some stuff. I feel hurt, and also discouraged to do such things in the future. I also feel confused, because she has said in the past that she wished I do such thoughtful acts more often. But I also want to be understanding to how people value things differently from others. I don't want to project my values onto her. I want to feel assured by her reply, but for some reason I still feel sad. Sometimes I let emotions get the best of me, so I am curious what others think. If I were her, I would have at least done a better job throwing it away, in hope something like this happening. I could bring it up again, but I fear I will appear too sensitive, needy. I know I shouldn't have such self-conscious thoughts in a relationship, but I also feel it's important to think such things through thoroughly before acting on them. Probably petty of me, but I left the card on my bureau in plain sight after I asked her. I know it's not easy to hold on to everything, but my pride won't let me allow it to become trash. Maybe she will get the message, but I do wish she wanted to keep it. Again, maybe I am projecting. Any help, thoughts are appreciated. TLR. I, M30, found a card I made for my girlfriend, F32, in the trash, and now I feel hurt, sad. I can't tell if I am overreacting and/or projecting my feelings, values onto her. Just my take. I get why this hurt your feelings, but if everything in your relationship seems fine, I think you're probably reading too much into it. You said you gave it to her a month ago, right? So it's not as if she just threw it in the garbage the day you gave it to her without even looking at it. After a month she was just cleaning up and getting rid of clutter, and maybe she's not the type to hold onto that kind of stuff. Again, if all else is good in the relationship, I would just let this go. Your card served its purpose of making her feel better and letting her know you cared. Does she throw a lot of stuff away in general? My mother-in-law couldn't even stand to have the sugar or salt on the counter. She was so anti-clutter. She may be one of those. I feel your pain though. You're a good boyfriend. She may not be someone who likes to keep mementos. She said it made her smile, which was your intention with the card, and for her that's the end of it. Some people just aren't sentimental about objects. I'm gonna tell you right now. I have never once kept a single card that anybody gives me for more than a day. I appreciate the sentiment. It feels nice that someone cares enough about me to make a card. But past a certain point, what's the use? Especially if I see the person often. I don't need a keepsake to remember them by. They're right there. And I really doubt I'm the only one. Some women are not sentimental and hold on to cards and trinkets. Do not hold this against her and base the way she feels about you on her throwing it away. It's completely fine to want or not want to keep mementos, but don't let that invalidate your feelings, because it's also completely fine to be hurt that she didn't keep it. Some people aren't sentimental about items. I'm not. I've never kept a single card or doodle someone has given me, but I always love and appreciate that they were given to me. I wouldn't worry this as a red flag if the rest of your relationship feels fine. However, I do think you should talk about this. If you are sentimental and keeping mementos like that is important to you, you're going to continue be hurt when she continues to dispose of them. Finding a middle ground will be important to prevent future hurt. I think there are a couple of issues here. First off, you are probably more sentimental than she is. That does not in itself raise any red flags in your relationship. Secondly, it may be that your artwork is considered a part of yourself. When you put part of yourself into something, it's hard to see it disposed of somewhat carelessly. As a songwriter, and a pretty bad one at that, I can totally understand that feeling. To save yourself from this issue, perhaps in the future don't put so much effort into such things. Maybe a store-bought card would suffice, or just a hug. Save your drawings for your sketchbook. Well, apparently, I'm going against the grain here, from looking at the other comments. Do not invalidate your feelings. If you want to feel that your sentiments, actions are appreciated and cherished, you should have someone who appreciates and cherishes them. If a person does, they often keep a memento box. Not throw away like trash. My trans son, 17, is pregnant. How can I make this easier for him? I only found out about Reddit after my eldest son took his life. I read his old posts when I miss him. I hope that doesn't sound creepy. I also apologize in advance if I say something ignorant or offensive. I truly mean no disrespect. This is all new to me. Anyway, my son came out a few months ago after a long emotional battle within himself, and I've never been so proud of him. His dad on the other hand blew up, ranted that he was born a girl so he is a girl. His dad refused to call him by his chosen name, forbade me from buying him new clothing, and a whole lot more. It was a toxic living environment, and I saw the change in my son that was awfully similar to when my oldest was Earthside. I swore I would not ignore the red flags. We are now separated, waiting on a divorce. My kids come before my marriage. I stand with my son. He still thanks me every day that I chose him. A few weeks ago he came into my bedroom and I immediately noticed something was wrong. He asked if he could sleep in my bed. Please don't think that is weird. I'm his mother and he can sleep in my bed whenever he wants. It's a comfort. He disclosed to me that he had been feeling sick and that he had a positive pregnancy test. He went to Planned Parenthood and they confirmed, and told him he is too far along to do an abortion here. He is 17 years old and we live in Texas. He expressed to me that he could not go through with this pregnancy and asked for help. He told me how dirty and uncomfortable he feels and then started sobbing. I asked him what happened and he said it was SAW after coming out to his best friend. His best friend has been close since they were babies. His mom and I were best friends. He wouldn't go further and I'm not going to push that right now, but I will be reporting it. The problem is he waited too long before he told me, so he can't just do a pill abortion. There is no way I can pay $1,700 for out-of-state surgical abortion. I explained that to him and I told him about adoption. He is devastated and said that by going to an obgyn visibly pregnant will be misgendering him. I don't know what to do. How can I make this easier for him? There is no way I can pay $1,700 for out-of-state surgical abortion. There are organizations, shelters etc. who will financially support you to get an abortion or offer payment options, e.g. Planned Parenthood. Please look into these options now. This is way above my pay grade. But I just want to say that you sound like such a loving, present mother. You're doing a good job. Growing heart. There is a clinic in Atlanta that offers abortions up to 21.6 weeks. You guys can contact the National Abortion Federation. They should be able to help financially with the cost of the procedure and travel. Seriously, my DMs are open wide heart. Going to an OB isn't misgendering, it's dealing with the issue. Medical professionals don't care what gender you claim, they care about the professional care they provide to their patients. Get that thought out of his mind and get him to worry about potential complications, the things an OB can help with. It's time to look at the available resources. When the restrictive laws dropped, many avenues for advice, counsel and more popped up online. Maybe other comments can point you more directly. Even Googling might provide a few starting points. You have no idea, which means you're unaware of what help is available, and that's a first big hurdle to overcome. As for misgendering, it's an unfortunate truth that no matter what happens, the mere fact of pregnancy runs counter to his chosen identity. There's no escaping the point. Misgendering or not, this must be addressed. The longer the pregnancy runs, the more his mental health will be put through the ringer. This will be rough. The sooner this can be dealt with, the better. I had my termination in Florida. The women's clinic ended up paying most of my bill and I only had to pay $400, but I would have paid $320 if I hadn't have been RH. The reason why most of it was covered is because they have sponsors for situations like this. Please, I know it feels like time is running out, but just look into as many options as you can. Would the best friend or his parents contribute towards the cost of the abortion? Unless they want to pay child support for the next 18 years? Would you crowdsource? For example, on _a_downward_spiral on Instagram does a lot of mutual aid requests for people. Other pages to try might be Hologender, Instagram, or autogenophiles_anonymous, Instagram. These mutual aid requests can be anonymous. Check out the anti-network subreddit and aidaccess.org. I'm very sorry your son is going through this disappointed heartbreak. My boyfriend gets angry every time I get a decent job opportunity. I work from home and I recently closed a client for $1,000 per mo, which is a good pay for Asian country where I'm from. The thing is, I was very honest with the client about how I don't have EXP with TikTok but hired me anyway. I closed him within 2 days, which was fast. I only let my boyfriend know a day before my onboarding because I know he can get emotional with these things. At first he said he was fine, just annoyed. He's annoyed because he can't get a decent job. Though I help him out with a lot of stuff like resume, tests, etc. He got a bad experience where he applied for a job and waited about a month but didn't get the job anyways, which like normal. But he got really pissed. He also got really angry about a year ago when I got my first $1,000 client I'm still with now. He used to talk down on me and my job for months until he got used to my work. He blew up like an hour before my onboarding because he's been trying to get me to do TikTok for 2 years. It's just not my thing if I'll do it for me. And is really angry how I got a job so fast with no experience when he's the one with a lot of followers on TikTok. Been trying to tell him it's more of a curation, where I'll edit existing videos just adding captions, and not creating from scratch. And he got pissed even more and hasn't been talking to me for 2 days. We live together. It pisses me he keeps calling me bitch and asshole, and screams at me to get out of his face when I try to comfort him. Is this a normal reaction? How can I make him feel better? Update. Clients are from my freelance career. I do digital marketing. Let me get this straight. Your boyfriend is angry at you for doing well in your work? I get that he isn't having the same success as you, but that's not your fault. He shouldn't be taking his frustrations out on you. This sounds like an unhealthy environment to live in. Is he like this with everything or only about work? It's not your job to make him feel better. It's his job to take responsibility for his poor behavior and change it. If he won't accept that he's being a jerk to you, I highly recommend leaving this relationship. It doesn't have to be like this. You can find someone that will be supportive. It's not a normal reaction and it sucks speaking as a Westerner to someone from Asia, but it really isn't up to you to make him feel better since you didn't do anything wrong. You can apologize, but what are you apologizing for? It would just validate him feeling the way he does. Just try to talk it out when he's ready is all I can really say. Your boyfriend is emotionally stunted. Find someone else who respects you and doesn't call you the B word. Sounds like he has a "I have to be the breadwinner" stick up his ass. Get a new BF. This one ain't it. No one has right to call you bitch and asshole for any reason. Why are you tolerating this behavior? You deserve someone who respects you, who is happy that you are getting better opportunities in your life. Oh no, the fragile mahood, the woman can never possibly in no way be superior to the man for once or have a good life. Nope.